Hey YouTube, Peterbilt Knife Guy. Today I'm going to kind of do a quick little rundown on my Imperial model 422. It's like a little skinning knife. I think these were made back in the 70s. Let's see if you can see Imperial 422 USA. It's their Frontier lineup. It's a carbon steel blade. I don't know what kind of carbon steel it is. I would assume a 10 series, probably 1095 would be my best guess. Seemed to be a common choice back then. It's kind of got a severe, I don't know if you call that a drop point, but it is just like a perfect bow shape right here. Excellent little skinning knife. I mean, you can get in there real nice and tight. It's not heavy. It's got, I have extra large hands. My friend Scab said that, or not Scab, Charles Jones, the redneck nerd, talking about his big hands. He's basically Sasquatch, and he's a lot taller than me. I'm only 5'11", but for 5'11", I have pretty damn big hands. He said his fingers were a little over 3.5 inches long. I mean, you can see that. My fingers are, that one's a little 3.5. We got 3.25, 3.5. Yeah, 3 3/8. My pinky's almost 3 inches long, so I've 2.5. My bad. You always got to exaggerate. Let's see what we got here. I'll say tip to a little over, probably 8.25 inches overall. So I have big hands. That's where I'm going with this. It's not a hand showing competition, but for big hands, this little knife is really, really, really comfortable in this grip. I don't know, man. It just seems like they made knives better in the 70s and 80s. I know they make really fantastic knives nowadays, but sometimes these old school classics, they just can't be beat. And this thing gets stupid sharp. I'm pretty sure it's probably 1095, but man, this thing, it just took a wicked edge, and it's just, oh my, it just effortless. And talk about sharp, and this thing is just, could you imagine skinning with this thing? Whew. I would just go through anything like butter. So yeah, that. Now onto the sheath. It is a decent quality leather sheath. But it is not meant for this knife. This is the one that came with it. It is for this knife, but man, they just slapped this together without putting no thought into it. This knife is shaped like a banana. How is that supposed to fit in there? And here's the problem. So you put it in there, right? When you put it in there, it wants to curl the knife forward, or backwards, I guess. And that puts you right into your stitching. Well, that's exactly what happened when I got this knife. The stitching was all popped out right through here. There was no welt. It was just a single seam, 2 pieces of leather, not glued, just sewn together, and it cut its way through. It would stick out like that. Just by holding it, it would stick out like that. It would fall in there because it's just a friction fit, and the only friction that it has is really jamming the blade of that knife. Let's see here, from there to there, right up against those stitches, and it cut right through. So what I did is I went through and I put a nice big fat welt in there and re-sewn it, and it did have a, what do you call these, man, why am I drawing a blank? It did have a, what do you call these guys? I can't think right now. In these positions, I didn't drill and I put these ones in, but I took the original ones out to put them in. I I don't know why I can't think of the name right now. I'm drawing a huge brain fart. But now it seems to hold it in there. But I mean, this knife sheath is, let's see. It's too long. It's not the right shape. But I mean, in this form now that I fixed it, it'll work. But yeah, I don't know, man. These little Imperial knives, I have been impressed with that 1970s steel or whatever heat treat they did on it. It sharpens easily and holds a wicked edge. At some point in this video, I'm going to, if you haven't already seen it already, put in the catalog of this. I might do it right now. You can still find the catalog where these things were listed, and they called this, it's like a simulated ivory look, but man, it's a great little knife. What we got here for blade length? For cutting edge, we're looking right around 2 3/4 of an inch overall, right about 3 and I'd say a 1/16. Just yeah, 3 1/16 overall. 7 1/4. So I mean, yeah, this thing's got a good 4-inch handle on it, and I cannot keep anything in focus today. And yeah, and if you ever see one of these at like a yard sale or thrift shop or something like that, don't hesitate picking it up. The knife itself is going to be fantastic, and they do make longer versions and shorter versions. You'll see that in the catalog picture. But yeah, anyways, thanks for listening to my ramblings, and have a good day.